Hi, Sue Verhoeven here. I'm keeping my voice down because people are probably having an afternoon snooze. I'm super excited, so that would mean I'd be making a lot of noise. So we started our actual course this morning at 5:30, so I was up, awoken by a mosquito at 4:42, so before my 5 o'clock alarm. So we've had the most amazing instruction. I'm just like absolutely bowled over. I think if I had to go home now, this will have all been worth it, just from what I've learnt this morning. We haven't even had the whole day yet, and the experience I had meeting the other yogis. So hang on a second, I've got this. There we go, it's a bit high up. So we did like the essence, we just touched on this. We did anatomy. Oh my goodness. There's a doctor who, although he knows yoga, he doesn't teach it, but he only teaches at this school. He got everybody to do one of the forward bends where you touch your toes, basically put your hands on the ground next to you. And he picked out 4 people, brought them all to the front. Excuse me, I've literally had about 3 hours sleep since Friday morning UK time. I've not slept last night and not slept the night before, so I think I'll be sleeping tonight. I hope so, because I'm absolutely shattered. So excuse the yawning. To touch their toes, and some of them are like, you know, more than the length of their hand away from anywhere, not even touching a fingernail on the ground, with 2 blokes and 2 girls. And he said, would you like me to show you how to fix that in like a minute? And we were like, anyway, he didn't touch any of them, he just got them, excuse me, to do a few things. And then he said, now touch your toes. And one of the guys had his hand flat on the floor, and he you know, he was nowhere near even touching a fingertip before they all got their hands on the floor. Just amazing. And we did realignment. It's the kind of thing that you've probably seen, you know, or if you've ever experienced yoga, your yoga teacher will go around and just like set your hips a bit and press you in a certain direction. This was like the master of that. So he's going to teach us anatomy, so we know how to adjust people, because it's not a case of just leaning your weight on them and stuff. It's spotting, you know, someone had neck pain, gone. He just adjusted her, cracked her neck. She wasn't expecting it. And someone that there's a movement where you put your arm here and you lower it down, and then you go around this side and you hold hands. I'm nowhere near it. She's nowhere near it. In fact, it's my lovely roommate, and she had her fingers together just within literally a minute or so. It's amazing when you know what to do with the body, so it's just absolutely fascinating. And then we had, and I'm going to stick his practice on the back of this video, because there's a bit of a gauntlet gone down between the two of us. So we've just learnt the sun salutation A for Ashtanga yoga. Normally this takes about 5 minutes at the beginning of the practice, you know, it gets you warmed up. It took us over an hour to do it, because he explained how to do every single pose, part of it. I never knew I could do a plank and have my whole body that far off the ground and hold it for just like time immemorial. We were absolutely wiped at the end of it. Absolutely, it's the hardest hour of yoga I've ever done. Apparently he's being really lenient with us. But he's going to go, because that's just the warm-up, and then there's a whole load of poses and sort of accents of those poses, and we'll be able to teach them, do the breath work, understand how, you know, when you breathe in, when you breathe out, depending on what motion you're doing. It's like absolutely incredible. I'm absolutely astounded. So anyway, there is a way where you either float, step or jump back into chaturanga, and that's when you go from standing up with your hands touching the ground, like doing a full bend forward, or a half, half height bend with a flat back, and then you've got your hands on the ground and you want to go into the plank basically. Well, they don't just jump back, they kind of hover and move out in mid-air. Honestly, it's like a ballet, and you're just like, did you see that? Anyway, apparently I'll be able to. He hasn't even seen. Well, actually, yeah, he would have been observing me. He said my downward dog was very good. He adjusted it slightly, and he said that's a very good pose. So I was like, yes. But we were like doing downward dog for like, it must have been 8 or 9 minutes. I was just like beside myself with exhaustion by the end of it. So was everybody else. It was just like, I don't think I could. It was just absolutely exhausting. But he needed us to be in the poses for long positions so he could go around and adjust people and see what people were doing wrong and use those examples to teach us. Very interactive. The guy is literally a year older than my son. Anyway, he puts a whole new meaning into floating back into from standing up to doing the plank, and jumping forward. Like, I literally can't do it at the moment, and because I asked about that, and he said, you'll be able to do that in a week's time, you'll be doing it. I went, really? And he went, yeah. And I went, I'll be able to do that thing that you could do. And he went, absolutely. And I went, right, you're on. High-fived him, and he said, I will give you 100%, you have to work on it, it's up to how much you practice. And I said, I'm prepared to do it. So there's a gauntlet down then, and then everyone said, can you just go through so that we can see how you're doing it. 1 minute 30 seconds of absolute wonderfulness, and that's what we learnt today. We also learnt about breath work, pranayama. So that's really interesting. We'll be having a breath lesson every day anyway. We'll be having meditation. We're going to do some hatha yoga and some, what's the other yoga we're going to do? Vinyasa and hatha yoga. This evening we're having a couple of hours break, and then we roll from like 4:30 till 7, so we'll be doing yoga all that time. Just mind-blowing, just mind-blowing, just mind-blowing. And I've met a load of the students who are dragging their feet leaving the place because they just don't want to go. They've had such an amazing experience here. And we were actually all saying yesterday that, well, we'd only been here a few hours, and we were all saying that we were going to find it really hard to leave here. Like, we wouldn't be ready to go at the end of a month. It's like we've joined a family. It operates like a family. We all wash our own plates and knives and forks up and all that sort of stuff. We keeping our own rooms tidy. It's clean, safe but minimalistic because it's a yogic lifestyle. We don't need a lot of fuss and bother. I did find out at lunch today that they're going to be gradually upping the chili content because everything's quite mild, so that people can acclimatise to it. And so I'm really looking forward to some amazing hot curries. The food is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to get the recipe for a cilantro masala. Oh my goodness, it was absolutely to die for, absolutely to die for. So yes, so we've done adjusting, we've done how to get in and out of poses, we've done some Ashtanga yoga. We found out the meaning of Ashtanga yoga, found out about the yogis, the original yogis. Rishikesh is where yoga started, so I am in the place where yoga was invented, and there we go. So yeah, I just wanted to share the first half of day 1 of 28 days of instruction, and there is a gauntlet down for me to be able to do some floating thing, and I'm absolutely determined to do it. I'm sure it won't be quite as elegant as him, but you'll see what I mean. There's a bit where he just goes out and then he kind of moves his whole body horizontally. It's just like incredible. absolutely incredible. So yeah, really good. So I'm hoping to get some sleep tonight because I'm conscious that I sound a bit drunk because I'm literally so tired. But you know that I'm not drunk. Alcohol is strictly forbidden on this site. Cigarettes are strictly forbidden, which doesn't really make any difference to me because of course I'm now a non-smoker. So anyway, I won't go on because I want to attach this video and get it up for you, and I totally forgot to do the opening ceremony, so I've got a few videos and I'll talk about that. And I've got some of us walking through the market, which I need to put up. But right now I think I'm going to just get this video up for you, and I'm going to have a bit of a snooze before I just pass out. It's Monday, isn't it? That's 4 days, not even 4 hours sleep. So, and I stupidly pulled an all-nighter on Wednesday night as well, so I'm in a bit of a state of exhaustion. Anyway, lots of love. It couldn't be better. It couldn't be better.
Toes together, then slowly trying to bring your kneecap up. When you push your kneecap up, your calves, your thighs will be engaged. Then slowly squeeze your glutes, roll your shoulder back, chest should be open. Now your both palms to the side of your body. Spread your fingers as much as you can. Your chin parallel to the ground. Then slowly come, inhale, raise your both arms to the side of your body. Then slowly suck your belly in, join your both palms together and look to your thumb. Then slowly do your exhale, go down forward. Training, inhale, come to the halfway look up, take fingertip support, your spine straight, your dristy, your gaze, your focus on the tip of the nose. Then slowly Chatwari, exhale, bend your both knees and go back to Vitakana. Bend your both knees and go back to Vitakana. Bend your both knees and go back to Vitakana. Bend your both knees and go back to Vitakana. Pancha, inhale, flex your toes, lift your chest up and come to the Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, the upward facing dog. Then slowly tuck your toes and come to the Adho Mukha Svanasana, the downward facing dog. Then just hold here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now inhale, lift your both knees, bend your both knees, look front, then slowly jump. And again come to the halfway look up. Then Ashto, exhale, down your both palms, go down fully forward. Then now inhale, raise your both arms over to your head and look to your thumb. Then exhale, some spacity. They make me nervous.
Brilliant.